Thank you, Southwest Missouri, for having us here to talk about our program that we are very proud of. And I will tell you this, Deborah, I love you to death. She has helped us from the very beginning, but we were the first work-ready community. The ACT also recognizes us because we do use the Career Readiness Certificate. And what we're going to do, Deborah actually laid the groundwork and told you what is involved in work-ready communities. And what we're going to do is show you how we put ours together, the barriers we overcame, and what how we became the first work-ready community. And the reason I'm saying that is because we did pattern all we did after Georgia. When she was in Georgia with Governor Perdue, we asked her to come down and talk to Oklahoma Governor's Council for Workforce and Economic Development because we had decided this was a model we wanted to pattern. And we jumped on it immediately. We worked at it, we formed our committees, we actually set our criteria, and we beat you, Deborah. We had the first work-ready community, and we were so proud. We were so proud. But that's the only thing we got up on her. But I have to say that because we did actually get that up on her. So I'm going to turn this over to Kirk. He's going to give you a little bit of the background on why we decided to use this as an economic development tool, and we partnered with the Department of Commerce and our Workforce Investment State Board, which is the Governor's Council for Workforce and Economic Development.
Well, I want to thank Tracy and Jason, too, for all the hospitality you guys have shown us. It's great to be up here with people that treat us nicely like that. So we're going to run through our presentation. Our time is limited, so we want to go through pretty quickly. The mission of the Department of Commerce is probably not unlike the mission of the Department of Commerce in Kansas or Missouri or or Arkansas, but it's basically to increase the quantity and quality of jobs. And so workforce development and work ready fits right in with that. And skilled workers, as you know, are the availability of skilled workers is the number one factor in business location decisions, whether it's relocating or expanding. We're going to click through some of these because of time. Our program vision, and as Jeanne said, we developed it based on the Georgia model. We made some tweaks. I'll tell you in a minute about one innovation that I think we brought to it. But our program vision is basically to recognize communities and reward them for having a sustainable and reliable pipeline that delivers the right workers with the right skills at the right time to meet the changing needs of employers. And that changing needs, as you all know, is a big element of this because it's never a snapshot. It's always a moving target, so you have to keep those lines of communication going and constantly get the feedback. So again, this tells you about work-ready communities that Deborah has gone over, the tools you're familiar with. In Oklahoma, we break out CRC credentialing criteria into two. We say what percentage of your available workers are credentialed with the Career Readiness Certificate, and we have a different threshold for those in the available workforce. And so 3% of the existing workforce, those job seekers, is where we've set the threshold. And for available workforce, we've set it at 25%. And because we set that creates some data responsibilities on our end. So as you go forward in participating in the Missouri participating in the Academy for Work-Ready Communities, consider where you set the thresholds, what the implications are for your data collection. That's an important lesson. Georgia came up with this and kind of learned by doing the Work-Ready Communities. Oklahoma too. Now you have the advantage of going to Academy and learn from the lessons that Georgia has learned and from Oklahoma as well. So congratulations on being accepted in that Academy, and Oklahoma will be a partner with you in whatever way we can to help you get your Work-Ready Communities program going. And then the second component is the high school achievement, stressed by Deborah and in Georgia. I think their program was established largely to increase their high school graduation rate. In Oklahoma, our graduation rates were not as we didn't have quite the problem that Georgia did at that time. And so we set our threshold higher on graduation rates. So there's about a 78% graduation rate in Oklahoma, statewide average, and we've set our threshold at 85% because we wanted it to be kind of a gold standard. We wanted to set the bar pretty high so that there would be some advantages for being certified. The big innovation that Oklahoma made is that seeing work-ready communities as not so much a way to improve the high school graduation rate and focus on that, as it was, this is an economic development marketing tool. And if you can prove the value of the quality of your workforce to employers and document that where it is irrefutable, then because that one of the first slides I showed you that availability of skilled workers is what drives business location decision and investment, now we've got a marketing tool because we've married those two things. And so giving the economic development marketing tool perspective on work-ready communities, I think, is the innovation that we made. And I think it has enabled us to build partnerships, not just with education and workforce, but also with employers in a way that has been very, very successful. One thing that I'll tell you that we didn't anticipate is we didn't anticipate that we thought maybe 1 or 2 counties would partner in applying. We didn't realize that whole workforce investment areas would say, we want to certify all at once together. And so the multi-county regional approach has been very successful in Oklahoma. And I think that there's a structure already in place with your WIBs to move forward with that. And it's great because as an employer, the example that Deborah gave, the German company that located in Dublin, Georgia, because not only was that county certified, but all the surrounding counties were certified. If you certify one county, that's great, but you're talking about a fairly small labor pool. If you have a region, now you've got a labor shed that is more significant. If that whole labor shed is certified, it really catches the attention of employers. And so that regional approach, building county by county is great. When counties can work together, that's even better.
You're sitting in the room representing all 3 factions of how to build an economy. This will bring you together. We didn't have to do that. We didn't have to dangle a carrot. We didn't have to do anything but show them what it could do to build their economy. You'll see the map that we've got up here. Now, tell me you don't think that might be a little bit unbelievable. It's the truth. It's the absolute truth. We have the whole eastern side of the state of Oklahoma is certified work ready. This has made a difference in the employer community. We got Google, we got Gatorade. It was right around the same time that they became the first certified work ready community. We did dangle that in front of the employer, and that's how we got them. We just had summits around the state touting our work ready community projects. The ED people, the site selectors, those that were in the room now are going to put the certificate that we give them in with their proposals for new employers. That is something they requested, not us. They requested that they use the certificate saying they have a certified work-ready community in to solicit new employers for their area. After we did the 13 county area that was in the right-hand side, right-hand side at the bottom, Bill Edwards can't be second. He doesn't want to be second. So he helped put together the other 14 counties that were right above it that do actually border the Missouri. They worked together. They formed a coalition. They formed an alliance with all 14 of those counties. They went out. They hit the street. They used their education community. They used their employment community. They used their workforce centers to beat the bushes. They actually did this. They went around and they'd say, okay, how many do we need this week? that particular person would go around and make sure that they were more tested, that they sold it more to the employers. This is amazing. You just don't know what kind of a partnership that this can bring together. You all need to work together. I mean, we know that. That's one thing the federal government did tell us. You need the 3 E's together. This does it. This actually does it. Oklahoma is very proud of what their project has done so far. I always tell a story, and those of you that were in Springfield did hear it, but it affected me, and this is the reason we decided to go with this as an economic development tool. We went to Heartland Institute. Do you remember, or do you all know, are you familiar with that? It's an economic development precursor to the economic development, becoming a professional. They sent us as workforce professionals to that particular institute so we could learn how to speak to the economic development people. We didn't know. They would use these TIFs and TAPs and use all these different acronyms. We had no idea, and we were using UI and all these other things. They didn't know what we were talking about. So they sent us to learn how to communicate with economic development people. They always invited us to the table to give them numbers, and then they want you to go on, and they'll go ahead and talk about it. Well, we didn't know why, but now we did. We realized we couldn't speak to them. Okay, so we sat down at the table at this Heartland Institute. There was about 6 workforce executive directors of the boards in Oklahoma. We went up there and we were with people from all over the country. And we sat down, and one of the first things they do after they teach you what TIF means and TAP and whatever all that other stuff was, they sit you down and tell you you're going to form your team and you're going to present us with a scenario on how you would convince this site selector, and there was real site selectors there, how you're going to convince this real site selector to come to your area. Whew. We had no idea. We had no idea what infrastructure was. We had no idea what the other factions of the scenario might be. So we sat down, and a couple of the executive directors were on my team, and we thought, well, what can we offer and what do we say? So the site selector was going around to all the tables saying, what have you got for me? What have you got for me? And we said, we had been talking to Deborah at this time about putting together a Work Ready Communities project. And we said, what if we had a certificate telling you that we had a work-ready workforce for you to, a certain percentage of our workforce was ready to go. He walked by me, big, tall guy like this. He walked behind me, and he had a stack of papers in his hand, and he threw these papers down right in front of me. And I thought, oh my God, we're fired. We've done something. No, I'm serious, would that not be what you thought? And he said, okay, I don't need anybody else. You've got me a workforce, that's what I came here for. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness. So this is why we decided to partner with our economic development people and make this a tool that they could use. And they are using it. We have some employers right now that are so impressed with the Work Ready piece plus the CRC itself. Walmart in a place in western Oklahoma gives a $2 raise to those that have a CRC. And if they raise their level, they get another raise. I mean, they get a $2 when they come into work. They get $2 more than the normal starting wage. This is amazing. So I see thank you, Amber. We're going to hire you. This is wonderful. You did great for Oklahoma. We actually did buy a statewide license. We're the only state in the union right now that has a statewide CR 101 license, which is the key train component, the remediation tool. We used to call it remediation tool. And it does have the soft skills piece in it, but it is free to any citizen of the state of Oklahoma, any business that is located in the state of Oklahoma. And we've gotten very good feedback, and this was very nice of you to say about this. I will say one other thing. When you form your teams, make sure you've got a driver there. Every place we have had a team, it has been from a different part of the system. We've had education, we've had chambers of commerce, we've had workforce. Career techs are marvelous in driving the teams. They make it happen. They go around and make sure that the CRCs are there. They make sure that the graduation rates are, you won't believe. They go right straight to the superintendents and they say, get on board. And they do. It may take them a year, but it takes that long to build up your criteria. So I'm saying this is wonderful. We would love to partner with Missouri. We will help out in any way we can. We do have some tips. We did jump past some barriers that we know you're going to face, but we will be glad to help in any way we can.
If you have specific questions for us, please approach us and ask us those during the lunch break. Thank you all again.